Have you wasted lots of money on fish food? Well, you're not the only one. I have plenty of full packages of fish food that I'll never use. After trial and error, I settled on these 4 types. I'll share with you what they are and a few tricks to make the best of them. Let's get started with dry foods. Freeze-dried brine shrimps are my favorite. You might have seen people grabbing a square and sticking it to the glass. But I don't recommend this. The food comes off the glass easily, and it will just go everywhere in the tank. That's when overfeeding comes in, and that will give you algae problems. So instead of doing that, just pinch off a small section and feed that to your fish. Personally, I like hand feeding my fish when I use this kind of food. It makes it much easier to make sure that there's no leftover food. Also, they'll get used to you really quick, and instead of hiding from you, they'll come towards you when you get close to the tank. If you ever have to catch them for any reason, it makes it super easy. Once I've made sure that my rams ate enough, then I just spread the little bit that's left for everyone else to eat. Next up we got pellets. But not any pellets, guppy floating pellets. Every well-balanced diet needs some protein-rich pellets. I tried using other pellets before, but they were either too big or too messy, like these Hikari ones. My fish would always spit it out the first time. It made a huge mess. I'm sure there are many other choices out there, but I settled with guppy pellets, and my fish seem to love it. Regardless of what kind of food you're using, make sure to turn off the skimmer, because it could suction the food before they can get to it. If you're liking this video, please like and subscribe for more weekly content just like this. Now, for number 3, we got algae wafers. Why algae wafers? Algae eaters are supposed to eat the algae in the tank. So, you shouldn't have to feed them, right? It's a little bit more complicated than that. An aquarium might experience sudden algae blooms for many reasons. When this happens, you could end up getting more algae eaters to fix the problem. This is not a bad thing. You might even end up getting more algae eaters because the ones you currently have won't eat a certain type of algae. Whichever might be the case, when the algae problem is over, we end up with more algae eaters than we need. If you don't have another aquarium to move them to, then what do? The only thing you can do is feed them like you would any other fish. Now, when you feed algae wafers, don't throw the whole thing in the water. You want to know why? Let me show you. This is why. Did you see that? There's a lot of competition for that wafer. Everybody wants a piece. So instead of throwing the whole algae wafer in the tank, split it in little pieces. That should make everyone happy. Number 4. Flakes. I didn't used to feed flake foods before because it was a little messy. They didn't eat it fast enough, and sometimes they would completely ignore it. It took me a while to find ones that they really liked, because the ones I could find that were meant for nano fish, well, they were just too big. I ended up having to crush them into smaller pieces, and sometimes I would crush them too much. It was a hassle. But these ones, these bug bites, are very good. They go crazy for it. And you don't even need to crush them into smaller pieces, because they are already very small. It's really fun to hear the popping sounds when they eat. As a bonus tip, I have these beta pellets. They are a little bigger than the guppy pellets. I've tried feeding them to my other nano fish, but they are too big for them. Now, my beta, he loves them so much. I feed him 5 of these every other day. And you can see the difference between when I first got him and now. His colors are vibrant. If you've been keeping fish for a while, you probably have your own preferences. But always remember to feed different types of food throughout the week. Always eating the same thing gets boring, even for fish. Let me know in the comments if there are any specific foods that you prefer for your fish. I'll try them and let you know what I think. See you all next week.